This will be episode 69, cycle 1173 and on. I still wanted to do this yesterday, but saying we were getting 60% frame loss. I have no idea what was happening on Twitch's end. All I know is something terrible had occurred and everything was going to shit. So that was quite terrible and horrible in general. Thankfully tonight it looks like we're doing okay. That's what matters. I still cannot believe that it was like I did a complete refresh. I cleaned everything. I was like, okay, we're gonna do a full router restart. We're gonna do the rest of that, and it was just dead. I could not fix it. Yep. Yeah, you were here for the entire thing, and it was just like, oh my god, what happened? And it's like, I have no idea. Twitch just completely shit the bed, and it's like, oh, great. So much for recording episode 69, because I wanted to do it on Friday, and we'd have 70 tonight. It is now Saturday. But it's like, nope, we didn't get that luxury. So, as a precaution, as per usual, load every map. Make sure everything is loaded. And there we go. I don't know how interesting it will be, sadly, as of episode 69. Sadly, the core is still not quite there yet. I was hoping we would actually have the place cooled out by then, but I still don't know what caused this. I went back and reviewed the footage and also reloaded the saves, and this block had just disappeared. There was no indication or anything. I let it run on the, not the last save, but the save before that. Should have been, hit load here. Yeah, I loaded in on 144, let it run for a little bit, and I loaded in 1162 and let that one run, and neither of them caused this to break. So I have no idea what caused that. Also caused a problem in and of itself because water. As well as a massive amount of CO2. Don't think I can get that hot enough to turn into steam either. Kind of regulated to 100 degrees at best. Start cleaning up the rest of that. Fine. How are you guys doing over here? Doing alright. Not great, just alright. Construction. I've heard that. Also that. Wait. I'm thinking I am going to just drain this through here all the way down probably over to here. The bigger issue is that I technically need to I need to connect this to this and then ramp this down. Going to be very difficult. technically I could just put that there, that falls down there, that way. Good, I think. Poke a hole there, poke a hole there. Plug this down, I guess? Yeah, it would probably work. Mostly fine to just get stuff into space. Gas-wise, anyway. Ow. Spoons out of oxygen. Alright. Spoon. Up to the bucket, please. The other one, and hey, go. Pipe rejig completely around. Severed. This. Where do I have to go next? Right up. Trying to drink that oxygen. I think I'm just gonna have to pull the water up and over down into the system. Probably be the best option what we can do. Right up, down up here. There you go, buddy. Going on. How are we holding up over here, actually? Food still going up. Atmosphere anti-freeze. Good. Temperature's still kind of terrible everywhere. Stabilize 60 in certain areas. Oh, that's been cleaned up though. That's really good news. Go, Proto. that up. That. Work our way through. Probably start ordering. Most of the bases are, for the most part, cleaned up. There we go. Like, move all of the materials that we've got laying around. Finally clean up the base of it. I will have to apply a bunch of gold once we can, but that is a nice improvement. Great bit of oxygen. I'll do okay. Come on. There we go. This one needs to be Patricia medium and rarity. Good. Ray, make your way up to the rocket, please. For them to make it. There we go. There you go. Should probably be starting to plan for our next trip, which will probably be up here as well. Chill is strong. Very strong. Holy crap. Like, oh, it's 46 degrees in there. It's -1 to 2 here. Yeesh. That thing is so strong. For just cooling purposes. Come on, dupes. Move it, move it, move it. Go. As long as it's just venting into space, I don't care. Come on, dupes. You can do it. This pipe's connected. I know you need food. Be fine. That. There we go. Dang it, Spoon. Here's cheaped out, but come on. Calories 2,000. Okay. Doing okay. Actually, separate. Pretty much right there. There's village. Fine on that side. Overflow. Now this is completely automated for the most part. Will only trigger if it's full. Which is most of this. That be good to go. You gotta be careful of this thing. It's technically in space. So there's enough off-gassing materials, I kinda don't have to worry about it yet. Just enough. that oxygen again. And please come swim the suit. And there you go, buddy. Good dude. Okay, back in. Will probably pop out the top, but I'm assuming it might pop out the bottom too. Oh, came out the top. Good. Recycle those pipes. This is now a self-replicating water source, so I don't have to think about it. Anything excess will get dumped into the system. And yeah, done. I can even expand it and give them showers if I wanted to. I don't think I really need to, but it's on the table. Right out. Make your way up to the rocket, please. Suit to swamp. Plan this out. Need to fully focus on speedrunning it? In the middle of the Zen part? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yes, this place will be isolated so they can actually take their suits off shortly. Soon, I won't be needing to send them on up here anymore. Done. I'll be able to help me speed this process up and fully automate it so we don't have to worry about them too much. Soon I won't have to worry about my dupes. Very soon. I know, Puff. Of course he would get stuck in a tile. Of course. Probably prepare for dumping water in there, but obviously we have to clean out the polluted oxygen first. New principles. Pufflet. Nails with green thumbs. Weemish one across the board. Hassan with one. Practice artist gourmet, which you will never take. One story up, which isn't terrible. Then a Joshua with 4 2. My director, incredible bell, smooth arm, decorator. I think we'll just take the puppet. Yeah, we'll just take the puppet. I don't know what the Palad's doing. Just fine. Good. Oh, you have active time for that. Just allow it to burn off more hydrogen. Come on, Dupes, you can do it. Hey, Vendetta. Oh, come back. Currently having an accident situation. That will be perfectly fine. Okay, come up. We'll get this swapped. Going pretty good. It's not Discord. It would be... There we go. Okay, Frank. Swap your suit. No problem. Ah, gotcha, gotcha. There you go. Dupe. Please put your suit back on. Thank you. And we are good to go. Nice. Dupes. Can do it. Also, high priority that one. And high priority that. Gotta clean up all the polluted oxygen in the area. And then I can add a water lock here and not have to worry about it. Super hot material though. Why is that so hot? Rock, right? Huh. Oops, where did you recover that from? No, like, seriously. What? I got you, man. There you go. Just post them in general. Okay, Dips. I know. Go to the bathroom, bud. Go, go, go. Keep the deodorizer at 9. We'll get the gas vent right here in a second once everyone's gone to the bathroom. Yeah, I just gotta clean up the excess polluted oxygen here. Don't want any yucky lung problems happening. Should be good, pretty good to go. We'll need to make 3 more suits. Keep those actually here. All my astronaut suits will go here. We'll just take these when we leave. Oh. We have a protecting moment. Grab that. Lever sweep only. Take care, Vinda. Also nice on the emotes. Bookshelf mounts. Okay, so all that is nice and safe. I don't have to worry about the dupes going through this area. That suit. There's one blob of polluted oxygen I gotta deal with, but after that, I think we're good. Come on, dupes. Clean it up. Oxygen, oxygen, and oxygen with polluted oxygen right up here. Hmm. Seal that off for the time being. I should hopefully organize this a little bit better. Plug that one in. This thing. Checkpoint. Construction. Expired to the pipe. Definitely burning the dupes right now really hard. I want to get this done so that way it can be automated and I don't need to worry about them as much. I can pay more attention to whatever the God's green earth happened over here. Can't look like here. Really bad. God, 400 kilograms. That's fair. The cobalt was really hot, so that makes sense. Over here didn't really make that much sense to me, but let's see. I am super worried about the slime lung. They're gonna get exposed to it by this way. Technically, what I can do is, how much plastic do we have? An okay amount. We'll make all those tiles and the ladder. And please put your suit back on. Yep. Yep. Okay, you are not allowed back in there. That's fine. High priority that. That one to a 3. Okay, oops. Your stuff. It was literally just meandering about. Clean that up for now. Fine. How is their morale? Low-ish. Mostly because they haven't eaten yet. Yep, please don't go near the giant death poke shells. That would be great. Also, thank you, Autosweeper, for helping with that. Not intended, but I approve. Okay. All the dupes are working pretty hard here. Wait. See, it's fine. I was gonna say, go and just go on outside and grab some food. All kind of hanging out in space anyway. It's not a big deal. Yep. Oh, no, no, no. What? Get up here. Yeah, toilet warning. I'm like, no, 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 no. Run. Run, you moron. Your ass. Literally. Good. Good, good, good. We're so close to done. Ben, please put your suit on. I know. Right, you were in the bathroom. Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean? Okay, okay. You need to go all the way on up there. I am 100% going to make you drain your suit in space. Catch your breath. There you go. I knew that was going to happen. I was like, they're probably going to be really close to it. There we go. Okay, go here. And... there we go. Hey, Lex. 10 months. Thanks, Ben. Welcome back. Also... who? I'm confused. What's with the random cow? Oh, no, I do not use that. Right? You should be fine to go out and grab actual food. You have food here. I question why they prefer to have the other stuff, the swamp shards, instead of, well, cooked mushroom. It's actually it's a +1. Very weird. I'm about to disallow them from swamp shards just in case. I should probably do that just in case so I don't have to think about it. Yep. Also, spoon, you should be allowed to go through. Spray, not so much. Bathroom, that's fine. Okay, hopefully everything's going well with you, Lex. Oh, right. It's just like, I'm gonna just jump in the water, no biggie. You have a suit, you know. You have a lot of different food types and you just prefer to eat the wrong ones. Okay. That's fine. Got a new old car now. Car got rear-ended. Oh, no. Crap. Oh, as long as it served you, as long as it did. That's what matters. Come on, dupes. You're 2 away. You're so close. 51k miles on it. Dang. Yep, sounds like it served you well. That's what matters. If somebody please bring me this. Thank you. 130Ks in over 5 years. Ah, gotcha, gotcha. There we go. Okay, cool. That's all working now. We can see only. Good. Yes, when we wish to leave, I can actually now just automate the suits here, so I don't have to think about it. Everything else is working just fine. Hey, Zox. Oh, what? Oh, it was the Draco being attacked. Draco, you fool. Don't give the poke shells a hug. Do 2 of these. Assuming bees. Yep, bee radiation. High quantities of B radiation. Rockets going up. Good. This one should be copper. Cobalt? Yes. Is it copper? No. Good. Put that one there. Proto. Where's your suit? Assuming it's this one. But I'm not seeing it. The one suit? Ah, there is a one suit. One worn suit burned out. We'll undo that real quick. We'll need to build a scrubber soon. Probably like right down here in the corner. That should handle everything that I need after that. The one, yes. Priority. Thank you, dude. Okay, cool. Well, that is now fully automated, so whenever they go out for the rockets, they will put the chutes back. I don't need to think about it. Now they can fully live without their suits inside the base, and we are perfectly fine. Basically, the bigger problem is getting oxygen down here. For the most part, this gets all sorted out by itself. This should all get out of balance. Good. Oh, god damn it. What ultra hot materials did you end up touching or bringing back? I guess. You brought the actual, like, liquid cobalt? Yeah, for the most part they did. Dupes. I'm not even mad, just kind of disappointed. That is pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. Like, how hot is that? Oh god. Straight from the volcano itself. Only marginal cooling. 10 strength, caregiving, building impaired Devon. Upper rating, skill to drill. Very kind of dig. Ren. Not a bad Ren, but not pretty much what we're looking for at all. Same with Turner. The curative tablets, just in case. Might as well spawn them here. I'll just put an airlock door just to hold it off. If I can steal the spread of slime lung from below, just one little tile, then we should be able to eradicate it from this box without needing to fully liquid lock it. Oh, I should say double liquid lock it. In theory, anyway. Still gonna be slightly exposed to it for a little while. Oh. There we go. Come on, take the other one. There we go. Radiation. At least a beam coming in. Well, it is dying. Radiation is also helping kill off the problem. See, Proto, what are you getting to on cooking now? You're up to 5. You're 2 baseline and... sorry, 3 baseline and 2 with grilling. Very nice. He's improving. I need to just bring that down and say screw it. Just recycle these a little bit. I feel like we need to isolate this box. Just too much slime log. There. Oh. We have a little bit of CO2, but that's really it. That should hopefully isolate the slime lung a little bit better, and we don't really have to worry about it after that. That's the hope, anyway. It's not getting any more from anywhere else. It should just start dying off on its own. Well, obviously with the help of a little bit of radiation and the oxygen as well. Oh, there it goes. It'll be a little bit before it's completely wiped out, but I think we're good to go. Might need to put a medical bed. Just to deal with that silly injury that we had. Don't think that this can affect it. Be sure you can put a triage cot instead of a massage table. Like a massage clinic without messing up, but I haven't tried so in a long, long time. Because I might just shove these there everywhere. I want to see if it's possible. Ah, yeah, there it is. Floral scent. I love Buddy Buds. Yeah, technically speaking, I don't need to micromanage them anymore, which is really nice. So they're now outputting CO2, so I gotta be careful of that. Other than that, I think we're doing pretty good. may need to stick one of these down here, though. And possibly over here in the corner. Or if I want to move a sludge press, I could do that too. Oh, I don't need that. I need construction. Okay, that should definitely speed up the process of getting the dupes in and out of the base. Living area is now completely isolated from space as well as from the actual planet. And docking is also done. Downside, I'm pretty sure that's really hot. Please finish that up quickly, dupe, before you light everything on fire. Good. 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 It's nice seeing my dupes running around without suits. It's always a sign of progression. Either they're always in suits, or they have progressed out of suits. Yeah, I definitely want for a scrubber. Probably one there. Maybe one over here in the corner. Proto, why are you asleep on the electric bill? You have access. Alrighty then. I know it's cold. This is why I normally keep you guys in suits. It's not dangerous radiation, but it's enough for to wipe out germs. That's all that matters. Yep. Radiation pretty much takes care of it. Yep, space radiation works wonders. Not an end all be all, but pretty dang close. Come on, dude. Slime lung on you. You need to get back into the base. Oh, and they're back to normal. Radiation! Great success. Just enough UV radiation, technically, to wipe off anything on them. Ah, it does get out of it. Did not remember for the life of me if it did or not. Okay. Working fine. Oh, spoon, get down here. Light burns due to carrying like 800-degree cobalt. Not good. At least. I don't have gold yet to do this. Do it what we got. Seeing him running around in here. Go. And come on. Get that battery. Hopefully start reducing the temperature of the base. After the really hot liquids and materials that we brought up. How tired I am. Ugh. Only going for an hour and 30 minutes. Come on. Come on, me. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. I could probably leave them alone and they would be relativistically fine. At least over here under Poland. Talon, we're pretty much completed. Main base, we're pretty much completed as well. Everything's doing okay. Obviously, this is the most under fleshed out village that we've built so far. With temporary habitat. Seeing it's actually working. I'd actually call this early tonight. Guess we'll be recording ONI tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I'm just exhausted. But yeah, I'm content with the progress so far. Finally getting all of this fully automated so I don't need to micromanage them anymore is really comfortable. The only thing I gotta pay attention to is stuff they bring up from the ground floor. Stuff that's pretty much being not cooled down fast. Unless we do need a fridge. So, how do I do this with obliterating my actual clean oxygen? There we go. What bottlenecks do you feel most players run into that isn't food or oxygen? Water. In most cases, it would probably be water. And also learning automation in general. Like, once you've learned how to fully automate your toilets, then you can process the excess water, and then that just gets sent right back into your oxygen system, because the food that your dupes eat end up getting produced excess water, and that excess mass is just converted directly back to oxygen. Or if you need a water tank. I think probably for new players, probably just learning how pips work. For, like, I would say for most players, it's probably water supply. And it also depends on what planet they're playing. Like, if they just started and they're just doing Terra, you don't need to build like I built. Like, the reason that we build like this, and we did one mono spine, because we ended up getting this tiny radioactive ocean. Which definitely was an interesting actual map, which I'm very happy to share. It's also a night one. But yeah, using every square inch is pretty important. But I would definitely say, like, most likely most players are probably having an issue with realizing that water is pretty much the entire backbone of your base. That one and dirt. So I feel like those are probably the two things that most people don't realize when playing this game that are the two things that you must keep an eye on, like, at all times. what else? Having issues trying to make an industrial brick and coolant to run a refinery successfully, but most videos either skip over it or just go, we use X style and then Y setup. I get Z output. Any suggestions on folks who go step by step? Well, if you want step by step, I have done this entire playthrough is on YouTube. My subscribers wanted it to be completely unedited, so every single step that I do building my industrial brick is recorded. Number one. Number two, if you're just going for any kind of coolant or you're just trying to get a refinery up and online, you can actually use polluted water early on if you have a cold biome. So that's what we actually did right off the start. Over here, we ended up utilizing the actual cold biome to cool down polluted water as a coolant, and we just micromanaged the entire thing. Once you get to naphtha, which you could pretty much do very easily, because if you're doing the DLC, you do need to get to technically your second asteroid. So the first asteroid gives you the teleporter, which goes to your second, and then you need to go to the third. So for our third was Butalin. Once we got to Butalin, we ended up getting our Drecos, and then Drecos are in very easy source of plastic, and then you just melt the plastic. If you are playing on Terra, you can probably use ethanol if you get lucky with pips. I would probably say if you're just doing Terra, you should have access to oil early on, so you can just use crude oil. You can use petroleum. Obviously, you can use polluted water, but again, if you use polluted water, keep an eye on your processing. So whenever you have water, do not ever hit the forever button. Like, don't do it. You'll blow up your pipes and you'll cause steam to go everywhere. But what you want to do is you just want to do like one order at a time, and then wait for the temperature inside of these to lower down before it ends up going over the explosion. If you can micromanage that, then you can easily pretty much create anything that you want. Obviously, don't do gold. Weirdly enough, gold, from gold amalgam to gold, it will actually cause it to overheat almost every time. So even if you can get the water down to like -9 degrees, the polluted water specifically, it will explode in your pipes. But for fluid-wise, for refinement, early on, you can use it. It's definitely a desperation move, but it's not terrible. If you're playing on Terra, just use crude oil. It's really easy to obtain. It's not too bad. You can get some scaldings early on. It's not too bad. Just remember to put down some med bays, because remember when dealing with the oil biomes, yeah, like the average temperature is probably going to be like 70 to like 64 to 80-ish, and the dupes get scalded at 80 if they're in a gas, and they get scalded at 60 if they're in a liquid, if they're without suits. So definitely be careful of that. But I would probably say if you can find your crude oil in your biome, if you're doing Terra, then get crude oil. If you can process that up into petroleum, that would be better. If not, crude oil is perfectly fine. If you are on a desperation asteroid, then use naphtha. End up in a death spiral while I try to expand due to slime/natural gas/ flooded space, but I found DLC as expansion came out. I heard it broke a lot of the setups. Radiation is broken all the time. So the setups have not changed for the most part. I build my own stuff regularly. I do use Francis John's petroleum boiler from time to time. I've made my own petroleum boilers. I've done my own sour gas boilers. I've done a lot of my own stuff. Over here, you can just see almost everything here is pretty much my own design because of just how tiny the map is. For radiation-wise, radiation is actually really damn nice. Like, just as a whole. Radiation definitely changes the game considerably, especially for like actual space travel as well as DLC in general. Because in base game you don't have to think about what's inside the rockets. In the DLC you do, and a lot of the designs are really simplistic because, to be honest, in the DLC you only need a washroom and a great hall. You can ignore everything else. If you really need to, you can set this up like this. This is my normal travel rocket. So we have a 35 Great Hall here. We have exactly 12 for the washroom. And over here, if I need to, I can remove the rocket control station and I can slap in a massage table. And because we have one crown molding, that counts. And that'll make that into a massage clinic. So this is my pretty much do everything rocket. We also have our telescope, which allows us to explore a small radius around us. And then for large scale actual research purposes, I utilize this one, which is that. Eventually you figure it out. I mean, in truth, all it really is... Well, I am cheesing a little. But you can use a telescope inside of a Great Hall. Not a big deal. This is as tight and compacted as I can possibly get it. I think I've only got like 2 tiles? Sorry, 1, 2, 3 tiles. Or 3. There's really nothing else I can put in here except maybe a plant. That's really about it. For water storage, if in the DLC specifically, you can actually use water piping as water storage, so you don't need a tank. And the same thing is with oxygen. I just can't brain some of this stuff out, especially the complicated automation stuff. Ah, gotcha. So the most simplistic automation I can give you that will definitely save your ass, in pretty much every single playthrough, just by default. Number 1, either a chlorination room, which is just a chlorine box with your tanks in it. There we go. And the way that this thing works is you utilize 2 liquid shutoffs. And it's pretty much just set up in this way. So over here, this is the primary entrance for this, and this one's the one for the bathroom. But the thing is that this is actually an overflow setup. So the way that this works is that here's the actual bathrooms. They're inputting here. So this is a buffer chest. This is when this fills up, this one starts to fill. But this one will always supply these toilets and the shower, even though I don't really need a shower. I just use one because of the radioactive contaminants. But you don't really need a shower anymore. But for the sinks in the bathrooms, 1 tank all the way through, no problem. These ones are actually overlapped to prevent pipe priority problems when loading the DLC or the base game. I've gotten tired of having to deal with like just doing a straight pipe out of it and then weird things happening when saving and loading, so I use pipe bridges to force pipe priority. The main issue with Oxygen Not Included is when you save and load the game, you can end up getting quantum entanglement issues that happen, and what I classify as Schrodinger's crab. And what that is poke shells can actually attack your duplicates through the freaking floor. Like, I've had duplicates get hurt pretty much like all the way down here. As well as the bees can sometimes attack my dupe when I have saved and loaded the game from all the way down here. Because technically speaking, in the DLC specifically, the map shrinks. So whenever I'm not looking at this planet, it goes into a cache mode. When it's in cache mode, the planet is much smaller. Well, poke shells are actually extremely useful, but also extremely dangerous. Because the thing is that this happens with all creatures. When the game is not focused on a planet, so say you're in either the star map in base game or you're just in the DLC, you're looking at other planets, the game will compress the map down to save on memory space, so that way it can still run all of your plants and all of the standard actions. The problem with that though is that sometimes it can cause animals, which are technically on their own independent layer, to end up joining the dupes on their own independent layer. So what will happen is technically speaking, when you're not looking at the planet, the map is so squished that your dupes are actually right next to the poke shell. So when you look back on the planet, when you see a fleeing message because they just got bonked by a poke shell or they got stung by a bee, you will notice that your dupe is sitting peacefully in your base and the bee has died 40 tiles below you, or the poke shell has just punched the wall and there's nothing there. And that's because the map had actually been shrunken. So that happens in both the base game and the DLC. Base game, the only time you'll see it is when if you're in the actual star map and you're looking at the planets, because the game in the background will actually technically compress. It's a thing so that way it won't cause lag when you're actually moving around and looking at all the little planets that you can select from to where you're launching your rockets. So it's just a trick that they use in Unity, because this game runs in Unity, to be able to save on memory so that way you can run everything. In the DLC, it's a lot more evident because, again, you can get Schrodinger's cat situations, as well as this can happen with teleporting resources. So liquids can sometimes end up phasing through a wall because the map was compressed and you weren't looking at it. That's the reason if you see any of the episodes on YouTube, when I save and load the game, I always check every single planet before we start. We do a priority check, which is what I call for when we boot up the game, we load in, and then we click on every single planet and rocket to make sure that everything is loaded safely. Because as long as it has been loaded once, it should be okay. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes you still get it. It's really weird. It's just kind of a thing. You just kind of get used to it. That's the reason you have doctors. Because you're going to need a doctor dupe eventually, especially when you get around like 30 dupes, 30, 40 dupes. You're definitely going to want to have a couple doctors around just to take care of those random weird injuries that just don't make sense. Or, when they get hit by a poke shell and they're nowhere near it. Because that's a thing. Also, we have a bunch of Paku. I want to call them in. Technically, I could call them in here. The problem is they don't have any water to go to. Safely, anyway. Are just doctor both only useful from time to time? Yeah. So I would always recommend carrying a doctor with you at all times. Especially if you did the DLC. You'll eventually just, I would say around 10 dupes, look for a doctor. I think Commander Hellshot, wherever he is my current doctor in this playthrough, and he's been doing a very good job of keeping everyone together. But yes, when it comes down to having to deal with pipe priorities, as well as, again, the map compressing and doing weird things, a basic automation loop that I was going to talk about before I had to talk about why we do it, is just a simple double, not gate, actually. Technically it's just one, really. So what this is that you can run for a cleaning loop if you need it, one not gate, and a timer, and that's it. That's literally all you need. And what that'll do is that this sets it up so that way this will only run when the fluid it will be allowed through. And that is based off the timer. And when there is no fluid allowed through, then this just won't run. And this will kill off all of the germs that are inside these things. As you can see, they're just dying pretty quickly. Radiation also kills them. So if you don't have chlorine, you can put these into a CO2 box and then just put them near either a work satellite or put them up in space. I actually did that in Gervola. You can see up here. So these have about 579,000 germs. They're currently dying at a very quick rate, actually. Yep, about 10% per cycle with 13% dying in liquid and surrounded by production. It says it's spawning, but yeah. Change rate, -7. So if I cleaned up more of this, I could probably wipe out more of them. But yeah, radiation is very good at killing germs. Normally, especially in the DLC, make sure that you put your actual outhouse, your outhouses and washrooms and your radiation sources, and you'll be doing pretty well, at least for killing off germs. To be honest, you probably don't even need a sink. It's that effective. But when it comes down to just maintaining water as well as preventing a death spiral, making sure that you have a water sieve that is fully functioning is pretty much top priority. And then once this is going all the way through, you need a double buffer box. So again, this one is not actually set up with any automation. This one is just your buffer box. This will have 5,000 kilograms of water in it. And then the actual buffer box will be the one that is the one that fluctuates. And what will happen is that this will be filling into this box, and then it will have an offshoot. The reason that you want the offshoot is that this will force pipe priority when this box is going. I set mine normally to 75-15 or 95-15. And all it is one NOT gate into an actual liquid shutoff. And this was originally going all the way down so I could manually shut it off. And I was doing a double setup so that way I could just operate it independently. But now that I've fully automated it, I don't really need anything else. Because I was actually doing a double tank system. But now we don't need that. I just need the one NOT gate and you're good. And with this will make it so that way you will always have 5,000 kilograms of water for the bathrooms. So you'll never have to worry about water there. All of the water that the dupes actually end up producing ends up getting processed and then sent back up to the system. So it gets reused into the water system. And all the excess water, when this box is full from their food output, will be brought back into your actual water tanks. Which my water tank is all the way down here. And then also, once you get to the point where you've started tapping your saltwater geysers, your cold slush geysers, cool salt slush geysers, etc., and possibly steam vents, then most likely you will probably be making too much water. So that is a thing. And when you get to that point, make sure that you have enough tanks so you don't have to really have to worry about it too much. And then make sure you put one tank at the very end, and then set up the opposite effect. So this one is set so when this fills, this will send a signal to this liquid shutoff valve via an actual NOT gate. And then this gets sent all the way the heck up here to space. And this goes into my rockets for the DLC and then dumped out into space. On a cool steam vent, the water is 60, which is not very cool. If you want a cool steam vent, let me check on my guys real quick. I think I'm just going to spawn into Paku and just let them die here in a second. I'm trying to figure out a spot where to put them. I have no water here. Footballing, can you guys handle it? Actually, yes, they can. Paku, go. Nope. But for a cool steam vent, for a very, very basic setup, I am using ethanol, which I would normally not recommend, but we had it on hand, so we did it anyway, because fuck it. But all you really need is pretty much just a temperature shift plate. You can upgrade this to 3 if you want. But I used 1 temperature shift plate into a window tile for the door and more window tile. The way that this works is that all of the energy gets sucked out of the steam and the water from over here and gets put over here. And the excess cooling from the ethanol, in this case, is used to cool down the steam turbine, which, as you can see, is currently 2 degrees. On average, this keeps the water around 50 to 40 degrees, and then when this thing's not running, then it'll kick it down to about 30 degrees. I think our average water temperature is what, 45 degrees, 53. It's about 42 to 50. If you can get supercoolant, of which I will be replacing this with supercoolant. Supercoolant is about 4 times as effective as ethanol, so the amount of cooling rate will be about 4 times more, well, 4 times better than what it currently is over here. So I can actually kick this temperature straight, well, it'll pretty much stabilize at like 30 to 25. Because it's core dependent on your coolant and the material that you're using. So for any steam vent, I normally recommend a setup like this. It's super simplistic. It barely requires that much automation. So what this is this is an AND gate with a current ambient temperature. This is meant to prevent it from, blowing up your thermal aqua tuner, which thermal aqua tuner can handle 325. I just do 280. The liquid inside the pipe, this is the sensor to actually determine what the actual cooling rate will be of that fluid. Ethanol can easily go to negative 114. I just do negative 65 here because, again, I don't really want to push it any harder than this because I don't feel like turning this immediately into ice. Because sometimes when you save and load, if you're running colder than, like, even this, it can randomly flash freeze stuff. But that's just a quirk of the game in itself. But, yeah. That's why I normally try to stick around negative 65 to negative 85. And then for the rest of it, this pump is set for just 800 kilograms. Above, then we take it out. Temperature-wise, this is set for the door. And the way that this works is that when the temperature is below negative 28, this door is remaining open, meaning there is no temperature transfer. Or sorry, yeah, when it's below negative 28. And when it goes above, it shuts and rapidly cools down everything. Which also transfers all the energy from here into here. So, if you need a very basic, rudimentary understanding of how this works, 2 thermal sensors, 1 liquid pipe thermal sensor, 1 hydro sensor, and 1 AND gate. This is just here in case I actually needed it, also to vent the entire room. So, technically a vacuum. There's nothing in there right now. And this one was also in here to make this one a vacuum. I'm also using naphtha, crude oil specifically, for a temperature transfer medium for the thermal aqua tuner. If I had more diamond at the time, I would have slapped a, I just slapped one of these in here. I think I did put one down somewhere. Yeah, I do have one right there. I was going to do 4, but I didn't have enough at the time. But this will maintain around, as we noted, 40 to 50 on average. Technically speaking, you also want to run 2 steam turbines on top of a thermal aqua tuner to recover 60% of its energy, but for this kind of really just bootstrap really early on setup, you can just run one. Just remember that the cooling for this can also be applied to the steam turbine. And yeah. It's this is as far basic as I can possibly give you. That is purely designed for a cool event. This will also produce an absolutely astronomical amount of water. Like, in all honesty, it's a lot. So, yeah. Just know that cool steam vents give a lot of water. I don't think I actually need this much. I could probably up the amount of dupes I have here up to like 8, and I wouldn't really have to worry about it too much. I do need to get the geothermal set up at some point, but that'll be for later. Also squeaky puffs from that. I need to recover that as well. There really isn't actually that much automation. I have a lot more conveyor lines and basic pipe setups than most of my bases right now. Most of them are pretty basic. Like, we've got... Here, pretty sure that... Yeah, this one's base cooling. This one's fridge cooling. Fridge right now is currently set at negative 30. And the base is set around... I think it was 26, 25? 23. Trying to get a fancy sputum setup, which isn't going well. Save, lots of save and reload. Oh, if you need... How many dupes do you have? Because this is all you need. This is what's called a Rodriguez. Oh, actually, this is a mini Rodriguez. Whereas this is a full-size Rodriguez. Sure thing. You have 7? Oh, you don't need this. I'm assuming you're setting up a full Rodriguez. So, yeah, this is for 30 dupes. Or 32.5, actually. So, you don't need this big. You really just need this big. So, this will handle 15 on its own. Obviously, this is for the excess water. And, Thief, feel free to ask. And also, I should probably do this, as it's showing. But that's really about it. You can ignore the crusher over here. This is actually my excess sputum. This one generates a stupid amount of extra oxygen that I don't really need. I just have it here as a just in case. Also, I was originally using it to just get rid of water. Again, I was making too much water, and we still are making too much water. This is apparently a new setup using flooding to trick the gas placement to auto... Oh, you're using the flooding mechanic. I personally do not normally use bugs, because again, I actually share my maps as a streamer, so when I finish a map, I am perfectly fine providing it via my Discord. But I normally do not do flooding just because there is a high likelihood that flooding may get patched out at some point. Which is kind of funny. Like, you can use a compressor for flooding, but the thing is that the compressor flooding is a little bit different than just leaving water because you're moving it. It's inconvenient and debating just reloading to redo it all. Yep. I could see that. Yeah, if you need a actual spotum, you can pretty much just build one like this. Your girlfriend's on vacation. Other friend you grew up from birth. Guys, same bed. It's a guy friend. Okay. It's up to her, man. It's not up to you. In all honesty. That's my personal opinion. But yes. Max. Technically speaking, the only thing you need is that. Not really. I don't think that's weird. Like, just in general, I don't think that's weird. Yes. Max, technically speaking, this would be a mini Rodriguez. So you really only need to do that. Exactly. Yeah. So the mini Rodriguez is just one electrolyzer, one gas pump, a hydrogen generator, a battery, and one gas pump. Oh, technically it's two gas pumps. One for the hydrogen, one for the oxygen. And you just put it in a little box like this. So this is the mini Rodriguez. Well, technically this would be the micro Rodriguez. The full-size one is the mini Rodriguez. And an actual Rodriguez is this massive thing, which is 6 pumps, 4 electrolyzers, and 7 pumps actually. And then double the battery size. And then if you're trying to fully optimize it, you're going to be looking at 2 power lines. Well, normally when it makes you uncomfortable, that's when you're not trusting something. That's when you got concern. But yes. I would not recommend building one of these until much later, but you can build it to scale. So if you're going to make a mini, then you just pretty much build this little section here. And then when you upgrade it to, a micro, then you upgrade it to the mini. And then eventually you turn it to full scale, and then you just end up with a run. That's why I build them in the way that I do. Just because I can actually scale them out and not have to care. As you can see, it works very, very well. In most cases, the only time that you really have to start worrying about it is if it starts overheating the base, but if you've already got a cooling loop going, then you're pretty much good there. But you keep saying that, but if you're uncomfortable, That's definitely, maybe. Watching my dupes all run all over the dang place. How much excess water we have yet? Not enough yet. Let me also clean that up a little bit more. pretty good after that. Why do we have like... Oh, some of the ice melted, I'm assuming. Check temperatures. Yes, actually. Some of it should have melted. Ah, good to know. It's partial science thing. Yes. Exactly. I mean, our brains are just a collection of nerve endings. All squished down into a spongy membrane. A meat bag, so to speak. But that's everybody. I definitely need to do this. Get rid of all of that. How is... Yes. Good. Fluorescent. My favorite. Yep, exactly. By definition, a meat bag. Gotta be careful with oxygen over here. All the dirt emitting garbage. Let's see, where can I take fresh water? HK-47, is that you? Sadly not. I do enjoy my robots, and most people call me a machine anyway. I do have some mechanical parts, but that's about it. Is it possible to have 38k power with 200 mastery? I just don't get how. Technically it'd be possible. That would be really pushing those gems in Trove. Yes. A lot of people I know end up calling me a robot. Which is true. I mean, my name is Mr. Flunkers. What do you expect? Yes. I think I can actually divert some water over to this. Where do I want to actually through? Limit the pipe distance. Keep it out of the crops. Connect that. Uh-oh. Remember, no links, my friend. Due to some OCD issues, I restarted many a time. Here's my current. Ask before you do that. That way I can permit. Oh, yes, I still see the link, so give me a second. You can share, but you have to ask permission so I can turn off Nightbot. We do get a lot of bots around here. Mostly because of the time zones that I am normally streaming in is not North American time. Right now it is 12:48 a.m. Central Time. And yeah, we normally have to deal with a lot of Twitch bots, followers selling bots, and all the other garbage. So the best way I can deal with that is to prevent links. To be honest, no link should be just on by default by anyone who does anything here on Twitch for years. We're used to this kind of garbage. But yes, I can still see your link. That's perfectly fine. But yes, remember to ask the next time so that way I can actually just do a exclamation mark permit. Now then, let's see this base of yours. Due to reasons, you decided to restart menu. Ah, you went for a full radial base for cooling purposes. See. Bathrooms are running a double buffer. Guessing you're offloading the excess water. Are you offloading the excess water anywhere, or are you not? Doesn't look like you are. Research is in good positions. Quarter wrenches are actually in good positions. You're using a water crushing system with Aku, it looks like. Water storage, tapped. Your oxygen production. CO2 with a coal generator. You don't have a, Huh. Interesting. Or I just put in an infinite hold above the farm. I see that. You don't have any, like, meat processing, areas? Oh, Mickey Lungs. Just do the rest of it. Oops, please come pick that up. Need to break into mid-game, and I always lose around 200 cycles unless I go crazy. I suffer mealwood? Oh, oof. I don't see pips, which tells me that you're not making enough dirt. That right there, I feel it would be a massive... Uh-oh. I mid-game crisis issues. I see, I see. Okay. So, first off, I would probably say, flat out, definitely rush to hatches if you haven't already attempted it. Hatch farms are very simple to set up. For the DLC specifically, I'm using stage hatches. I'm also technically dry feeding them, and we're doing it via an actual auto sweeper using 1 kilogram worth of dirt. And this is set up on a 15-second to 4-second green cycle. Do not need to do this with these guys at all. You can just leave these guys alone and not do sage hatches and just do regulars. And just make sure that you're running around with the standard stuff. To burrow and prevent camping? Ah, I never let them burrow. I never ever let them burrow. I just micromanage them the entire time and then dry feed them. You'll notice that they're always starving, but they're never dead. That's what matters. As long as they don't die, that you're good to go. I'll actually end up producing slightly more eggs by doing this. It also results in, yeah, that. You want to see something like this inside your base. And by the way, it just keeps going. Like, I can't actually scroll far enough down to show you how many eggs are actually there. But yes, I always do just a basic evolution chamber, aka turning them into meat, as well as the excess materials from all the other things all get dumped in there anyway, so it's not a big deal. But yes, definitely look into building a 2x3 kill zone, and then you don't really have to worry about it. I'm not seeing one in your base, that's why I was wondering. Also make sure it's flooded all the way up to the door. Because if you're running with pips, the pips can technically hang on the underside of the thing, and you'll be good. Alt-S, scroll out, and see. Actually, if I remember right, Alt-S will fuck up the colony summary, because we are going for an achievement run here. So I don't think I can actually do that one. That was a screenshot mode, and yes, I know. If I remember right, it goes all the way down. Yes, the Alt-S was added in as a debug command a while back. So if I use it, it will kill the actual achievement run, which we are not doing here. Just so you guys know, like, just so you know, we have not touched debug ever. Like, I always make it my mission to never touch debug unless we're dealing with, like, game crashing bugs or something that's just absolute dog crap. Like, if it's just complete dog shit and it's completely busted, or something has gone terribly wrong in a hotfix, is the only time we will ever touch debug. Just so that way everybody knows. And yes, I know. Trust me, I know. But yeah, originally it wasn't, and then apparently they applied it to the debug tools because when I turned off debug, it stopped working. And then there was like, okay, cool. So I do have debug on, but again, as duly noted, we only have it on as a last ditch scenario if the game explodes or something goes terribly wrong. And if I remember correctly, the screenshot mode was a part of that, which sucks because it really shouldn't be, and I don't know why it is. But it is just, well, it's muddling and annoying. Yeah. But for now, just know that the egg chain is very big. So you don't really have to worry about it too much. I think the more interesting thing would be if I come on over, where is it? Here, down to the core. Yeah, sadly, it won't tell me how many eggs are here either. But I do know how many creatures are in here. Yeah, pretty much. The red dot of death. Yep. Ah, yes. Heavy wet wire. What is decor? So I come on over here and it's just like everything is green. Technically my red dot of death is right here. Negative 600 up to 700. That's the entire base actually. All the excess mass. 1.7 million kilograms. The entire map pretty much cored out besides the uranium. Which I'm just letting the bees do it naturally. That way I can have as much uranium for the nuclear reactor that will be going down here once the core is cooled down far enough. I did also end up using a water blade technique, which I've never done before, which worked out exceedingly well at clearing the core. So I would definitely recommend it. If you want to end up seeing it in action, I think it was episode 28? I forget. Today we're recording 69, so... which is also nice. But, yes. I ended up using mixed liquid water to be able to allow overpressure to happen, which then just cored its way all the way through the lava. Worked really, really, really well. I'm probably going to end up using that technique in the future a lot more often. Standard pickup orders, and I need to do move liquefiables. There we go. Temperatures are going back down after we brought in a ton of really hot materials. But yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. I'm just happy I no longer need to micromanage everything anymore. At least for the time being. Oh, toilets. The only thing I do need to micromanage. There we go. It should. Like, the mini Rodriguez is really, really good. The only thing that I would say about the mini Rodriguez for setting wise, 600 grams for the hydrogen, 900 for the oxygen. If you do that setup, you're very good. I do normally put the oxygen together, and the mini can handle 2 hydrogen generators. This is also self-powering, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. You just need to make sure that you do have a smart battery. The main reason being is that you want to connect the smart battery to one generator, and then set it up for 9515. Normally you want to do it the first one in the line because this will back up the other one so that way it won't actually operate. Unless you're actually in require, like, unless you need energy. AKA the battery is out. I know, the Paco fillets are actually integrating down here. Way down here, actually. Dang you, Paco. Also, I do want to check. Alan did make it, right? They did! Hooray! So many Paco. Oh my god. I might need to stop running the oxyferns and just naturally plant them later. I do have pips, so I could easily do that. Not too big of a deal. With the actual CO2 like crusher working. Actually it's working quite well. Good. So, technically speaking, this is just a mini crusher. So I'm actually just using this to delete and overpressurize the CO2 in here. So I can just get rid of it. Sure, yep. Yeah, as long as I see that this isn't backed up, it means I'm deleting CO2. So we're doing pretty good. I still gotta clean up this giant mess. When I get more steel, I will be doing that. I also need a lot more diamond. Might actually need to ship over some water. Future. Well, I mean, the toilets are taken care of, but I need to make sure that we're not burning too much off of the actual water supply because of the oxyferns. That's really the only thing I'm gotta be careful of. Thankfully, we don't have enough dirt yet, so we should be fine here. Let's run some more iron so I don't have to worry about it. We'll do 30. And 30 for you. How you guys doing? Now they're doing fine. Good, good. Still don't know when I'm going to come back here. I do need to come back here and strip out the rest of the planet. I just haven't done so yet. What do we have? Hey, mine. Nice. A slow learning rocketry 13. God dang it. Game. Poor Lyra got screwed. Also, Quinn, you also didn't get much. I'll just call on the iron. I wouldn't mind the omelets, but you don't need them. So iron it is. AKA more steel processing materials. Also good here. How's our temps? It's still hot. Not the worst in the world, but not great. Still gotta get this all sorted out. It's just night parade all the construction. Also, I will say this, for your industrial brick, whenever you do end up making one, do remember to utilize small power transformers. I believe so, yes. Ever since they switched it over to being part of debug. I'm not completely certain on if it affects the Steam achievements, but I do know that I have had issues with Steam achievements being recorded before. Ever since they did that change. At least in previous playthroughs. This one we've been getting every achievement. The only achievement that we didn't get was the carnivore achievement. And the only reason being is that this map, because we got kind of a crappy map seed, started with 2 pips, that was it, and 1 hatch. And I technically did everything in my power to rapid evolve and force egg laying on stage hatch. The best way to check is go into your settings and go to colony summary. If the check mark is still there, you're okay. At least on Steam's end. So just make sure that if the check mark is there, you're okay. That's what you gotta look for. If that is an X, that run can no longer get Steam achievement. Which is annoying, because sometimes, again, sometimes that can just randomly pop up. Also, certain updates have also rendered other things. You got a big fat X? Yep. 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 That run is toast. You can technically go into the file and look for it inside the config and set that back. But yes, it is really stupid. I forget where it was specifically, because I remember they did an which one was it? It wasn't the Rad New Worlds update. It was the, oh crap, what was the one before that? The one with the, which piece of furniture was? Oh yeah, when the sun lamp was added into the game, every single save before it ended up getting a red X, and you had to actually go into your files and switch that back if you wanted your save to continue to be able to get achievements. And it was I think it was the RNR update or whatever, where we got the sun lamp, we got the sauna, the mechanical surfboard, vertical wind tube, and the beach chair and soda fountains. And that was one where like every single person's save ended up technically getting the giant red X. It was really dumb. Thankfully, the devs did actually post it in the forums where to go change it, but I can never remember exactly where it is. When was the last time that you used the screenshot? Because you can revert the save before you did it, and that should undo the X. So if you know when you did it, what cycle you did it on, that's when you need to go back. But as duly noted, there's a reason I don't do Alt-S or use any debug tools unless it's absolutely necessary. As I was looking for ice biomes. Yep. Rip. That is a rip. Nope. I see one's a hug buried in there. Got Gene. Gene, come give this one a hug. Oh. Thank you. Max Man at Arms. Thank you for the follow, man. And I am sorry about your base. There you go. Nope. Make that a double, apparently. Yes. Sorry about your base, man. Play a game that lets me shoot things. Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. Yeah, I know the pain of having that happen. You too, Max. I will be switching over to Genshin here very shortly, and that will end off episode 69, and then we'll be doing episode 70 if I am capable of doing it. Originally we were going to do 69 yesterday, but Twitch decided otherwise, and yeah, that definitely did not go well. So yeah, congratulations! Actually not included, double feature today. I should also mention that this episode and the episode that will be recorded later tonight will be uploaded for next week. So Monday, Tuesday, And then Sunday, if we can get a good session in on Oxygen Not Included and YouTube decides not to be an asshole, then we will be able to get that one also up on Wednesday. That is me crossing my fingers and really hoping. Also, to be honest, I should probably remove Puff. I don't like killing Puffs because they're actually really useful, but... Can't really let him out yet. How many Puffs do we got left? You know what? Yeah, that's fine. We can get rid of one. Nice on the barbecue, by the way, guys. Good job. Also by the power of plated gold. Sorry, bud. Your life is forfeit. Still think I should probably make this a recreational room. If I want to use as a recreational room. We do already have a phone. Could put another one down. Not enable it or anything. Or we could just make a gold jukebox. So much decor value. Hyper. Those. We used to get the pipes in. Where is Frey? Oh, Frey's off and down, moving around and taking care of that. They're making progress. Not quickly, though. That is for sure. That. Oh, if that had stand, that would make that so much better. Go. Disable that because we won't be needing it. Really just get it there as an actual item to count for room generation. I know, yucky lungs, move it. Might as well just eradicate everything using radiation. Thanks, space radiation. This is what? 0.9. Pretty good, actually. Cents. Pretty sure they're extremely contaminated. Most part. Move to this one. Get on that wheel instead. Okay, there's a sleep in 32. 100% death rate. Good, 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 good. Kill them all. There we go. Bigger situational blender is the fact that I need to pretty much clean that up. Clean this one up. And remove all of that. And that's it. That's a lot of things to knock off a list. Wait, food poisoning terms? What? Two rads is just obliterating them, which is kind of funny. Glad that that is a thing. Cancel that. And high priority. All of that. Okay, team. Get to work. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get rid of this. This is a problem. Completely blocked right now is how is the cooling in the base right now? Yeah, that's kind of expected. Here's 44. Directly impacting that one. 5. To 800 kilograms of hydrogen in that box. Nobody light a flame. I don't want a giant nuclear explosion in my base. Please. Come on, bud. You're so close. There we go. There we go. There we go. Nope. And you go for it. Okay, I think that should be enough radiation that I don't have to worry about it. You need to get on over here though still. Case. Much better. A lot more clean too. No, we just... Yep, more pocket filled. I really gotta contain these guys in their own little box so I can just collect all their meat and not have to worry about it. Alright, taking this those fluids. I think everyone's okay. I just do a double check on the med beds. Yep, we're all good. Just be telling holding up. They're doing fine, actually. Main base is slowly cooling off the like actual edges of it. So we're doing pretty good there. And we're getting there. Then this entire planet will be stripped. That's yeah, we gotta get that sorted tonight. Or at least episode 70, I'm pretty sure we'll get that one sorted. Don't think we can do it tonight, like right now and then for this episode. Do 800. Jump. That refills the entire thing. I can take our excess water and dump it there. I will need to actually produce excess water. Probably do this. Set that up. I think that's our only source of natural water on this planet. Thankfully the dupes can handle themselves on the excess water department. It's just I gotta be careful about my primary source. I'm so glad that Burleson is not affected by radiation. It would be bad if it was. That's for sure. Yeah, it's now all automated. My guys can just stay there and I don't really have to worry about them too much. I still need some micromanagement from time to time, but I can at least start work on other construction projects while I keep stuff up. I don't have to worry about their safety. Yeah, we do need to strip the entire map. It is going to be a very slow process. Fun one, but definitely a slow one. Yeah, I think that'll do it for episode 69 tonight. Save. And cycle 1188. Ah, pretty good. No longer need to micromanage all of the dudes here, and the slime lung is mostly taken care of from within the base. I think we're pretty good there.